charismatic Teamster boss Jimmy Hoffa began working with the labor movement in 1932, when, as a teenager, he led a successful strike against the grocery store he worked for. He first joined the Teamsters Union in 1933, becoming president of the Detroit chapter in 1937. By 1957, Hoffa was the general president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Apart from his popularity with the working man, Hoffa's associations with the mafia helped his rise. He became iconic as a metaphor for all that was right and wrong with organized labor, the fight for workers' rights and prosperity on one hand, and the embrace of corruption and unsavory alliances on the other. According to Adrian Humphreys, an organized crime journalist and the author of 3 books on the mafia, including The Weasel, A Double Life in the Mob, Hoffa was eventually convicted of fraud, conspiracy and jury tampering, and sentenced to 13 years in prison in 1967. But President Richard Nixon pardoned him in 1971 and commuted his sentence under the condition that Hoffa not work in the union movement or with the Teamsters until 1980. However, upon his release, Hoffa began working in Teamster leadership again and also started working on his autobiography. On July 30th, 1975, Hoffa, then 62, seemingly vanished from a parking lot by the Matcha's Red Fox restaurant in a Detroit strip mall. He was reportedly there to meet with Detroit mobster Anthony "Tony Jack" Giacalone and New Jersey mobster Anthony Provenzano, who was also a Teamsters official. The 2 men didn't show and reportedly denied having had the appointment, despite the fact that his body has never been found. Hoffa was declared legally dead in 1982. The case is still officially open. There are countless theories about how Jimmy Hoffa died and where his body might be, some more likely than others. Richard Kuklinski, a notorious and prolific hitman, claims Kuklinski confessed to killing Hoffa and around 100 others. Kuklinski attested that he stabbed Hoffa in the head with a hunting knife after picking him up at a restaurant in suburban Detroit and was paid $40,000 to do so. He then reportedly drove to New Jersey with Hoffa's body in his trunk. The vehicle was compacted with the body inside and sold as scrap metal. He's part of a car somewhere in Japan right now, Kuklinski claimed. It's almost certain that Hoffa's death had something to do with organized crime.